Gary Hess, News Radio, WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
Rich Herrera loves this country and isn't afraid to say it.
This is Richmond's Morning News with Rich Herrera on News Radio WRVA.
All right, let me state some facts. Let me just state some universal facts. Super Dave, I've got mad game.
I'm glad one of us does.
I've got mad game, okay? Comes talking to women, I've got mad game, okay? Happily married, but I have mad game. Always had mad game. Universal fact number 2. I have a son, 25 years old. I'm going to embarrass him. He doesn't have a girlfriend. So if there's anybody out there that would like to meet a very charming young man who went to Cotillion and he knows which fork to use, he says, ma'am, he opens the door. He's polite. I think he's pretty good looking. People have said that, and he's going to be a career officer. Let us know. I say that in front of him all the time. He gets embarrassed. But one of the things that I do hear from him is when he's out there dating and what dating is like right now. And he said a lot of times these girls just have expectations that are wild. Oh, he's got to be at least 6'2", and he's got to make over $100,000 at the age of 19. And that's not an exaggeration. So I look to see what's going on right now. The American dream is you pass on a better life to your kids than you had. I want my son to have a wonderful family. I want him to meet a wonderful girl. I want him to raise great kids. I want him to see what being a dad's all about. I want him to have a great career, and I want him to be happy. That's my wish for him. There's a lot of people that have that same wish, but the whole part of starting the family seems to be an issue. So why is it? And on the female perspective, there's so many different things that you get thrown at you. Well, you have to be able to have a career, and you have to be able to do this. You have to be able to do that. And if you have a successful career, that's great. But at what price? And can you balance the two? So Linton Claude Samuels has a book that he wrote. He reached out to us. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bring you on the radio to talk about all of this. Let's bring him on right now. He's joining us on the News Radio WRVA hotline. Linton, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. So I'm doing very well. Yourself?
I'm great. Tell me the name of your book.
The name of my book is called Successful Single But.
Successful Single But. How many people have had that conversation? Oh, you should see my daughter. She's successful. She's single, but. Why is that, Linton?
But, yes, the but means there's a reason behind it. The success sometimes, they look at like the success push them away from finding love. The success means that they feel like they intimidate men. They're successful, but they're looking for love. But sometimes they feel like they have this thing called like you said, preference, height, income, all the different things. And no, it's not about that. It should be about what you are looking for in terms of principle. Someone to love you, to treat you right, not just about what they can offer you.
How realistic are goals right now when it comes to dating? Because, like I said, I talked to my son. He's 25 years old. He's got a great social group. He's in a fraternity. He meets all these girls at school, and he goes on these dates, and they just have these wild expectations of, I expect to have a 5-bedroom house. I expect you to be this tall. I expect you to make this kind of money. A lot of these girls have these wild expectations that they're looking for someone out of a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, that's true. I think that all this has to do with the media nowadays. The media portray this lie about what life should be like. You're thinking that you grow up, you have the picket fence, everything should be the way it should be in terms of your imagination. But in real life, that's not how it is in real life. In real life, you give me that guide to go ahead.
Or I would say, I think sometimes they look for the end product without putting any of the work. Like I have a friend of mine. There were a couple, he passed away, but she tells me stories. When they were first a couple, they struggled. They really struggled. And if they had an extra $1, they'd put that $1 in a pocket in the coat in the closet. And at the end of the month, if they went in that closet and there was enough to go share an ice cream, that was a special date for them because they worked hard. They struggled. They were trying to get their life started. But she said after they became millionaires, there was nothing quite as special as taking that, $3 to go down to Dairy Queen and split a banana split. And she said, that means more to me than anything else after we became successful. And I don't know kids today anybody today really understands how that struggle can actually bring you some happiness.
Yes, you see, and that's actually it's sad, but it's an amazing story because my aunt she and her husband was struggling, but for the anniversary, she said that she paid everything off, and he went to the dollar store for $2 ice cream and a cheap soda, and they drank, and she said that was her best day she ever had. Success and happiness is about who loves you, who cares for you. It's not what someone can give you. I could buy my wife flowers every day, but if I treat her horrible, that's not going to cut it. So that it has to be more personal treatment. If we were to treat each other with love and respect, then that means that all the these fancy gadgets and these flowers and taking her to high-end restaurants is not worth it. It's all about treatment.
Linton Claude Samuels is joining us right now. He's got a book. Again, give me the name of the book. I wrote it down, but I misplaced the paper when I was watching all the videos of your interviews because I find this fascinating. Because I want to ask you about a couple of myths that we're going to bust up right now. Successful single butt. That's right. I got it. Here's one of the big things. Women always go, well, I'm a girl boss and I'm successful, but men are intimidated by me because men are intimidated by successful women. That's why I can't find a date. True or false?
That's false. That's a myth. You see, men who are actually confident and secure, we're not intimidated by a woman's success. We want to be loved too. We want to be loved. We want to be with somebody that we can grow with. Right? We're not intimidated by that. Women tend to use that as sadly, but as a reason why they are single. No,
it's a crutch. It's an excuse.
It's a crutch. Exactly, it's a crutch. It's a crutch.
Now, not every man's going to want a woman that's driven. I think you have to find the person that you match with, and you have similar ambitions. So if I have someone who's all work all the time, and you have a mate that's I'd rather just not. I'm not that ambitious. Maybe those don't work, but there are people out there that match up. Just like the one thing is, we hear from people all the time. Well, I've got standards, and I'm not going to lower my standards to just date anybody. So instead, they stay home and they get bitter and miserable. Is that a myth that I've got to lower my standards?
Yeah, see, it's a myth, but I think that is the wording that they use that doesn't make sense to them, right? Because lowering your standards, you should never, ever, ever lower your standards. Sometimes we get it mixed up. Standards meaning preferences, meaning you want a guy to make 6 figures, 7 foot, 6 foot, great career. That's the preference. But standard is about values. You love the Lord. You treat people right. You respect her. These are principles that you have to have. So standard, to me, let's rephrase the word lower your standard about changing your preferences.
How about understanding what's really important to you?
Yes, that's it. And again, it's a media. Social media is so big to the point where you're telling all the ladies, make sure you got a guy with a doctorate degree and the 6-figure income. And no, then what? What if that guy loses his job? Then what? What if what you're attracted to him, the goosebumps in his stomach? What if his income or his buff body he gets fat?
Because we're all going to get old someday, right?
Yes.
Although, except for me, I still got great hair. And that's the thing is that it's for better, for worse. And I think this generation, I think people that struggle only look for the better and they don't understand the worse. I mean, and listen, Linton, I'm always honest in this show. There are times in my career where I was the top of the world and I was making so much money and I had everything I wanted. And then 2 seconds later, it all gets pulled out from underneath me and I am dead flat broke and struggling. And my wife is stuck with me through the thick and the thin. And that's what makes a relationship. And I think when we see some of these women and these men that are like, well, I can't find the right person. Are you willing to find the right person during just the great times? Or are you willing to find the right person that you'll have there during the thin times? Because that's when you get closer. That's when you really see what true character is.
Yeah, I don't want to preach, but
go ahead. I do all the time.
The Bible said that a lady, when God made Adam, right? Understand this, Rich. When God made Adam, he made Adam first. He taught Adam the truth, and then he gave Adam a job. And then he said, this man who works with me and who has a job, he should not be alone. And then he gave him Eve. Eve will be his helpmate, right? I'll tell ladies this all the time. Your goal is to find a guy who loves the Lord and who has a job. Everything else can grow. Some guy can go from being broke to be a multi-millionaire in the next day. You need that value, that structure, that guy that you know that will have a bike or with ambition. Ambition can go far. So you have to. I was a housekeeper at one point, and I keep on changing and keep growing in my career. So it doesn't matter where a guy is. Once he loves the Lord and he has a job, you can grow with him. You can help him grow. And that's the key where you're looking for somebody who you can grow with.
My
Good or
wife,
bad, it doesn't matter.
My wife laughs all the time. She goes, when I met you, you were an 8-year-old. Now you've almost become almost a pre-teenager. Maybe you'll grow up after we've been married for 50 years. So yeah, you all grow together. All right. If people want to find your book, where do they go?
Amazon.com. Amazon.com is on Walmart.com. But yeah, it's mostly Amazon.com. You can get it right away.
All right, Linton, I appreciate you coming to the program. We're going to do this again. That was fun.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
All right, take care. Thank you so much for joining us in the program. That was kind of fun. Something interesting, because again, a lot of people you lose out on that American dream. You get frustrated. This American, and by the way, so people are like, oh, Rich, I don't want to talk about this. Think about this. How many people right now do you see? Let's connect the dots for you. Zohran Mamdani, Katie Wilson, Bernie Sanders, AOC, all the Democratic Socialists of America. There's a lot of people that just say, the American dream doesn't work for me. I'm not finding a house. I'm not finding someone I'm going to marry. There's a lot of reasons why. And when they get frustrated, they start turning to everything. And a lot of kids under the age of 30 are turning to socialism. These are some of the reasons why, because we just have a hard time living that American dream right now. So that's why we brought Linton on. I think that was very interesting. I'll get your comments. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. By the way, go to WRVA.com/golf. I just signed up another foursome last night. We want you to come play golf with us as we raise money for Tunnel to Towers. The event is on September 22nd. All right, today's program is brought to you in part by Men's Wellness